Hello, this is Osamu Wakabayashi from Zen Ideas. I'd like to give you some tips for improving your website design. Now, website has two elements, container and content. And content can be text, image, or could be call to action buttons, videos. It matters where you put those elements and content. So the first tip I like to talk about is how you present the content matters. Now we're going to talk about style. I often hear from my clients, I would like my website to be beautiful and clean looking. But what does that mean really? To me, a good web design to be more accessible and information on the website to be easy to read or easy to digest and easy to navigate. I would like to go through some design element you should consider. First, size. Now, if you look at those two, of course, like smaller text size, difficult to read. And so you need to increase the size of the text in order for them to read. So that text size really matters. And next, the contrast. If you look at those two comparison, of course, on the right hand side, screen is much easier to read. And the positioning. For example, logos, of course, if you put on the top, it's better position. And anything important, you want to put on the top, not the bottom. And the visual element. Now let's take a look at these. On the left hand side, just text. For example, why choose us, education, and clean water. It's not really easy to digest the content if it's just text. And I'll give you some example what you can do. If you have some video, it is a good idea to put some videos and reduce the number of text. And it's a good idea to have some image that associated with the text. And it's even like some icons, symbols make huge difference in terms of design and accessibility for the information. And also, the white space is important for the website. So on the left hand side is CNN website. This is all the CNN website, but they put so much elements on the website. On the right hand side, for example, that's Apple. As you can see, there's lots of white space around it, and then so much easier to digest. So here is some design and style approach you want to consider. Is the text, the small size text is less prominent, and lower contrast is less prominent, and higher contrast is more prominent. And also using just text, or you can incorporate with image, icons, even videos in order to make the website much more accessible. And white space. You don't want to create it on a page. Make sure that you have much wider space surrounded on the website. Next is show only one thing at a time. Going back to the CNN website, there are so many elements on this website, and there's some quick video, there's vote, and some images, there's some weather forecast. So much things are going on here, so it is not so easy to digest the information. Now going back to Apple website, it shows only one thing at a time, and just remember that people scroll. It's easier to scroll than clicking links. So we can learn something from this. When you design a website, always you should start with designing mobile, smaller device, smartphone and tablet and laptop and large screen. So let's move on to number 3. Avoid carousel and rotating sliders. These days, so many websites are sliders. Sliders are something you see on the home page or landing page. They put so many pictures and message. I have a client that they put 8, 9, 10 images slides on the home page. And this is not really a good idea. Only 1% of the people actually click on the slide, which almost always was the first slide. People look at only first or second slides, and the rest of the slides they don't really care about. They can just scroll down homepage. And also it slows down your site. And it's not really good for SEO and conversion rate. Here is the University of York had some study. So they have a slider on their homepage. So as you can see, people look at only or even like click mostly on the first slide. And as you go down to second, third, and fourth, that click rate reduce. So you should avoid so many slides. Actually, you shouldn't use slide. I'll show you Apple website. So here's Apple website. They recently had WWDC conference 2018, and they just announced the 4 OS update: Mac OS, iOS, Watch OS, and TV. As you can see, instead of using 4 sliders, they just put the content to the bottom so that people can scroll down. So this is much easier to navigate the content. Don't use sliders. It's not very effective. So next one is avoid accordions. So here's an example. Now accordions, yeah, it's a little bit cumbersome because you navigate and you have to click it. Here we go. And again, you have to click that and click to open it and read it. And you have to click again. So this can be a bit time consuming for users. Once again, it's easier to scroll down the website. This is a FAQ page for Apple. So instead of clicking, just scroll up and down to navigate the content. So people are so used to scrolling rather than clicking. So those are just the 4 tips you can easily implement. And lastly, I would like just to remind you that when you design website, you have to think, what do users care about the most? So they care about, you can relate to yourself too. When you get into website, they would like to get their problem solved and leave a site as quickly as possible. So here are small 4 tips for improving your website design. Hope that helps, and see you next time.